Forge FC is ready to take the pitch.
Simply stunning stuff.
And finally, their goal. My word, what a rocket.
Now, let's get 3 keys to the match with Anthony Urciuoli on the Forge Audio Network.
3 keys to the match. I'm Anthony Urciuoli. Welcome however you may be listening, whether it's through your favorite podcast service, whether it's on YouTube, maybe it's the Forge FC social media accounts, maybe it is the Forge FC official website. However you are listening or watching, welcome. 3 keys to the match. Forge FC taking on Atletico Ottawa. Another away match for Forge, a club Forge has yet to beat this season. Played them twice, both at home. Ottawa earning a draw and a victory. Forge FC now looking to answer the bell and get their first win against Atletico Ottawa this season. Also, the winner of this match will be in the clear and in first place on the CPL table. Both clubs locked at 29 points. Forge has played one less game than Atletico Ottawa, and those two are part of a 3-way tie, Pacific being the other club for that top spot. Forge has 2 matches in hand on Pacific. But let's get back to Ottawa. Specifically, let's get back to Forge and how they can beat Atletico Ottawa. Key number 1 for Forge FC, presented by Volkswagen. Steel City Swag. Yeah, I've been talking a lot about swagger for the last week or so because it's caught my attention. We heard it from Calvary's side, Tommy Weldon Jr., saying that Forge, in that victory over them on the road, they had a swagger about them. Prior to that match, swagger was part of the 3 keys, so I guess I'm doubling up in a way, but I was upset with myself for not figuring out Steel City Swag as one of the keys in that exact order of words, and I wanted a chance to redeem myself. Steel City Swag, keep it going. What does swag mean? It's actually, let's hear from Forge. Fullback, Ashtone Morgan. I asked him what Forge swagger meant to him.
It's good to hear. Like I said, we are focused on ourselves, and control we can control, and like I said, our mentality has been so strong this season. From the beginning till now, we've been growing as a team, and we've all been kind of waiting for us to start ticking away, and we have been ticking. It's like I said, it's mentality is really great, and it's helping us through these tough matches for sure.
And just to add a little more context, I went to the man himself, head coach and technical director, Bobby Smyrniotis. When you hear Forge swagger, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I think we're a team that believes in what we're capable of. We believe in our principles of football. We believe that those are our guiding lights on how we're going to get to success. And I think one thing that this group has done over this season is they keep on believing in that. It doesn't matter how a game goes. And I think that's the confidence that this group brings into the game. We talk about it, and it's about us.
All right, so it's a confidence. We've been here before. There's nothing that we're intimidated by. Nothing's going to take us off our game. We know what we have to do to win, and when we play that way, we cannot be beaten. There is a swagger about this club. Bring it into Ottawa. What a great way to end what's been a pretty hectic week. 3 matches in 8 days so far. They have 2 wins during that span. Make it 3. Bring the swagger to the nation's capital and wrap up your road trip so you can get back home next weekend in front of the Forge faithful at Tim Hortons Field. Key number 2 for Forge FC against Atletico Ottawa. Wide open spaces. Now, we're actually going to hear from Bobby again in a moment. And what Forge, the way they like to play, the way they like to attack, is they like to attack areas of the field, little spaces of the field. Find the area and find the open spaces within that area. That's how Forge likes to attack. It's something they game plan. They pick areas they think will make them most successful. It worked for them against Calgary, and now they're hoping it works for them against Atletico Ottawa. Here's Bobby talking about areas and spaces.
Taking nothing away against the opponents, because we have a great deal of respect for each and every one of them, but we put a great emphasis on what we're doing on the pitch, and what we need to do and where we need to be, how we need to attack the opponents, how we need to be in our possession, which zones we need to get in. And I think that's the confidence that the players have going into matches.
And what are you expecting from your opponents this weekend?
Yeah, tough match. I think they've shown in coming into Tim Hortons Field on 2 occasions this year, a very resolute team, a team that defends at all costs, that looks to make sure that they secure their back end more than anything going forward, and taking their opportunities. And maybe we see a little bit of the same, or maybe we see something different as they play at home. Maybe they're going to open the game up, but we'll be prepared for both situations from that end. But they're a team that works hard, from the first minute to the last minute. They're a team that really sticks to their principles of play, and that's been successful for them up to now.
Find the area. Well, they already know what areas they want to attack, but identify it and then find spaces within that area. That's how Forge wants to attack, and that's what makes them successful, especially against clubs like Ottawa. Ottawa leads the league in clean sheets, 7 of them. They're a team that thinks defense first, and a club like that is not going to give up much real estate. So when you find those spaces, those rare spaces, you have to be quick. You have to identify them quickly. You have to move the ball quickly. And players movement off the ball. Players off the ball have to find those spaces as well. Wide open spaces, key number 2 for Forge. Key number 3, first goal, which is always the case when you're going up against a team that plays these mid and especially low blocks and that think defense first. Clubs like that are comfortable in their shape. They're going to sit back. They're going to be patient. They're going to wait for you to make a mistake. The key for Forge against these types of clubs, and we've seen it, Edmonton's another example, where they've gotten ahead early and all of a sudden they're able to score 3, 4, 5 goals because that team now has to abandon the only way they really know how to play and the only way to be successful, and that's to play that defensive style. So all of a sudden, you have to start attacking, and that opens even more up for Forge. And we know Forge is not going to fall into any kind of shell and play ultra defense and park the bus. Last match against Calgary, when Forge had a 2-1, in case you forgot, Forge had a 2-1 lead against one of their biggest rivals on the road. It's Calgary, a match for first place. With a lead in the second half, Forge made offensive substitutions to give them even more jump out front and get fresh legs out there. Why? Because he knew Calgary would have to start attacking, and he wanted guys out there that could beat them on the counter and beat them once they started forcing things. Not many coaches, and I mean that's an understatement, would play that way with a lead. So we know Forge likes to do that even with a lead, and get Ottawa uncomfortable, get them out of their shape, score that first goal. In our nation's capital, Atletico Ottawa hosting Forge FC. Forge looking for their first win against Ottawa this season. Also looking to separate themselves from the pack. The top 2 clubs in the CPL right now, and it's no coincidence, they're also the top 2 clubs over their last 5 matches and the last 10 CPL matches. Forge, Atletico Ottawa, 1, 2 in that order. So the 2 most informed teams are meeting. Who doesn't love that? Remember, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you get your Forge content. We have a lot more coming up. Stay tuned. Immediately following Forge and Atletico, we will bring you the match in review. All right, enjoy. It's going to be a good one.
Forge FC is ready, and now you are too. This has been 3 Keys to the Match on the Forge Audio Network. Keep up to date on your Forge FC by subscribing to the Forge Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.